Hey guys, how's it going? We're back with another week for a Q&A. And it's going to be a really exciting week. And I'm not going to tell you guys any spoilers. The only way you know spoiler is if you're hanging out with me over on Instagram. I shared a couple spoilers for this week's videos over there. So if you're not already following me on Instagram, make sure you're following me on Instagram. But we have some exciting news to share before we jump into questions from last week. And I'm very excited. It's two exciting announcements. So the first one is that I am going to be in Seattle, and I am so excited about it. I am going to the Northwest Flower and Garden Show, and it's going to be such a good time. There's going to be a bunch of other creators there, and it's going to be so cool. So I'm very excited to be there. I will be there. The dates are going to pop up on the screen because I don't remember them off the top of my head. I think it's the 19th through the 22nd is the days that I'm going to be there. So I'm only going to be there a couple days, and I'm going to be there during the week. I'm not going to be there during the weekend. So if you're planning to go, come say hi if you are going to be there the days that I'm there. I'm very excited about it. If you don't know about it, it's going to be an amazing show all about gardening and landscaping. And one of my friends, Kate, she is creating a garden there, and she's invited me to come early, and I can get a sneak peek of the garden. So I'll be there before the doors open certain days, and then I can get some behind the scene footage. So I'm very excited about it. It's going to be a lot of content from the show, and it's just going to be really good. So if you are planning to go, make sure you say hi to me on at least those days. Come find me. I'll be there all day long. And then the other announcement is that on the 14th of February, so Valentine's Day, that is going to be my last day doing hair. So I will officially be quitting my job doing hair, and I will be doing YouTube full time. I'm so excited. I'm so nervous about it. I did not sleep last night because I sent out an email blast to all of my clients, and it's been 10 years of doing hair, and this was one of the hardest decisions to make. But I just kind of decided, okay, it's time to jump in. If I'm gonna do this, I gotta do it. I'm too exhausted to be working two jobs, and I gotta decide which one I'm enjoying more, and it was doing this. I'm enjoying creating content. So I'm hoping that with this, I will be able to put out better content, higher quality content. It's going to take me a little bit of time because I need to save up still to I want to buy another camera. And the camera that I'm looking at is like $1,400. So I'm going to save up and get a new camera. Then I can have two cameras going at the same time for better quality content. And I'm excited about it. It's going to be a really good time. And I'm going to be able to put more time into editing videos, and I'm hoping that with me not working at the barber shop doing hair, that I will be able to get back to what I was doing beforehand, which was I was putting out 5 garden videos plus a Q&A, and I'm really hoping that's the case. So it'll be 6 videos in total. We will see. Fingers crossed. I'm hoping that I can do that. It's a lot of work, and I don't know how I did it. Actually, I do know how I did it. The quality of my videos were not that great when I was doing that many. So yeah, those are my exciting announcements, and let's jump into the Q&A. So before we jump into it, let's say thank you to this week's top community spotlight members. That is Val Autogal, Dina C, Lindy Lou, Rich Garden Guy, and Rhonda Shank. And thank you guys for being here. Thank you guys for being the top community members. And to all of you that are here, even watching this Q&A, I know Q&As are not always people's favorites. So thank you guys to those of you that do watch the Q&As and watch every video and all that. I just want to say a huge thank you to all of you for being here. Without you guys, this would not be happening. So last week's videos were, do I film when places are closed, turning the arborvitaes into topiary? Then we did planting ornamental grasses, refreshing a big container, which was so exciting. We did getting the last of the bulbs in and another garden cleanup blackout. And then rose care now for stunning blooms this spring and shopping for a fun project. And then easy pathway install and planting stunning poppies. So it was a good week, and I got a good project done, which is exciting, and I have more projects coming for you guys this week that I'm very excited about. The first video was the Q&A. First question on that video was from Dennis, and they had said, do you ever hit the nursery in Proberta, California, Rock Garden Nursery? I actually go there all the time, and I just texted the girls a couple days ago that work there, and I asked them if they were getting in some bare root ornamental trees because I'm having such a hard time finding them this year. And so they said that they would shoot me a text when they get their bare root ornamental trees and if they get any in this year, and they're hoping to. So I was just there. Actually, a video that I filmed that week was part of it. I didn't go there on camera, but I did buy some things from there. So I love that place. The next question on that video is from Tamazon. And they had said, "Hi Robbie, what is your sunset zone? Could that be the zone 15 you were referring to? Enjoy watching your show. You often make me laugh. Please keep up the Robbie recommends. Love those." My sunset zone is zone 10, so I don't know. I don't know where zone 15 came from. Yeah, I have absolutely no clue why I said zone 15, but I was so confident about zone 15. And the next video that we did was planting ornamental grasses and refreshing a big container. And that was my EdgeRight planter container. And it looks so good now. The grasses were fine in it. It was just a holding place, and I knew they were going to be a holding place in there. I had hopes that they would get nice and tall, but I don't think they got enough sun there, and so I don't think that they were loving their life in that spot, which is fine, because it was just a holding for them until I could get them where I wanted them in a more permanent place. The next question on that video is from Deborah, and she had said, "Great video. It's nice to see someone else designing and planting. Everyone else is doing seed starting and potting up houseplants. You can only watch so much of that. What zone are dogwoods? They're beautiful. They're so beautiful." I know there's a lot, and I'm still going to be having videos coming out about seed starting, and I always feel like kind of guilty about it because there is so many other people doing them. But yeah, so I'm still gonna have videos coming out. I think the video that's coming out tomorrow is me potting up dahlias. I'll tell you guys that. And so I'm sorry about that. But I do say I'm very lucky here because we do get to garden year round, which is a good thing and a bad thing. There's really no time off for us. We just grow. We grow year round. So there's no being forced to stop in the garden, which I think I would enjoy for a year. And then I would go crazy. Anyways, the dogwoods, they are growing zones 3 through 8. I'm in a zone 9, and so we can grow them here. I just have to make sure that they get plenty enough water and that they get afternoon shade. They can only get morning shade in my growing zone. The sun here is just way too harsh for them. So I do grow them, but they have to have protection from that hot afternoon sun, or otherwise they will just scorch and die. I've tried it, trust me. The next question on that video is from Lynn, and she had said, "Love the change to the planter. Could you talk to us a bit about candy tuft? I've never heard of it until about 2-ish years ago. I seem to recall you saying it's a love it or hate it plant, but never understood why." So it is growing zones, it says like 3 through 8, but I think if you're in lower zones, it's definitely an annual. If you're in warmer zones, it's an evergreen, so it will stay blooming, very few blooms in the winter time, but in the springtime it'll explode with, I don't want to say color, but it'll explode with white blooms everywhere. And I think they're beautiful. Some people just like, it's just one of those plants that I feel like you either like them or you don't like them. It's not like one of those plants that are like, oh my gosh, everybody loves it, everybody has to grow it, or it's one of those plants like nobody really likes. It's either one way or the other, and I think it's just kind of the way it gets used. I know when I was growing up, it was a plant that was used all over the place, and it was kind of like one of those, like, I don't know, it was kind of overused, I think, for a while, and now I feel like it's like coming, I don't want to say coming back, but I feel like it's being used more, and so people can actually appreciate it now. That is also zones 3 through 8, but not really. I'm zone 9 and I can grow. So it's like higher zones evergreen. The tags are liars. The next question on that video is from Barbara, and she had said, "Hi Robbie, did you have to prep the Super Tunia Vista bubblegum in any way to overwinter it? I left mine alone and my bigger plant is not looking too good. It's gonna look rough. If you're in higher zones, if you're in zones like 9, 10 and above or whatever, you should be able to overwinter it, no issue. And it'll look rough because the days are shorter and it's colder, so it's not wanting to grow or put out flowers, but it should explode with some really good color in the springtime. Try cutting it back. Take off 2/3 of the plant, leave 1/3 of the plant. That way there's plenty enough roots to push it up with lots of growth this springtime. And if you have any days that are going to hit 32 degrees, you need to cover them with frost cloth. Other than that, we tend to just leave them alone. Fertilize them a ton in the springtime as you start to see that growth start to form on them. So if they're still alive, if you still have green on them, they're totally good. You should have been able to overwinter them. Just give them a haircut and they should rebound no problem. Listen, Judy, the next question's from Judy. She said, how do I say this without sounding like a broom flyer with a B instead of a W? Oh, forget it. You're a big boy now, so I'm sure you've thought of it. Hope you're having a great time on your vacation. Oh, what the heck. Dear Robbie. Judy. I know that you want more property at some point, and I know that everyone needs a break once in a while, but didn't you just go to Hawaii? Sorry, that was out of line and none of my business. What you spend your money on is your decision to, so strike that comment. I'm not striking that comment, Judy. You put it out there. Sorry, honey. I just want you to be able to move sooner rather than later. Keep up the great work, Robbie. Have fun. Life is short. Judy, if I didn't know who you were as a person, I would block you. Okay, so if you don't know Judy, Judy leaves sassy comments, and they're the funniest comments, and she leaves a ton of comments, and most of the time, for some reason in this one, she didn't say hi to Brent, but most of the time she says hi to Brent. And Brent and I crack up every time Judy leaves a comment, because she's so funny. So, yes, we did just go to Hawaii, and I will say that like our Hawaii trip was amazing, but we did it where we were able to spend way less money than we thought we were able to spend, which was really exciting. And then our trips to the ocean, when we go to the coast, we usually just go for one night, which is all that trip was one night. And we stay at this place called the Harbor Light Lodge. And you can get like the better room, and it's like $200 for the night. So our entire trip is usually like $200 plus like a tank of gas, because the ocean is like 3 hours away from where we're at. So a trip to the ocean for us is actually a very affordable trip, which is really nice. So we do go pretty regularly. Usually we'll go maybe like 4 or 5, maybe 6 times a year. So we try to go pretty often. It's just a nice way to get away. We'll usually pack food, so we don't even like eat out usually. This time we did eat out one meal. We did go get a pizza at a place called The Brickery in Mendocino, which was amazing. It was such good pizza. And we just sat at the coast and we just watched the ocean while we ate pizza. And so I highly recommend to anybody, if you can just afford to get away for a weekend and you can spend $200 plus a tank of gas, pack your own food, get away. They are so needed, and your body will thank you for resting. And Judy, I love you. The next video that we did was getting the last of the bulbs in and another cleanup and blackout. And it feels so nice to get these beds cleaned up and get things done. There's been a couple other things that I've been able to clean up off camera and just get things done, which has been so nice to just like get the garden ready for spring, because things are starting to come alive here in my garden. Spring is basically here for us. We do have a couple nights on my forecast that are in the like 30s. So not too cold compared to everyone else, but cold for us. And so I do know we have some cold days, but we're also in the 60s during the days. So it's starting to warm up here, and spring is coming. The first question on that video is from Peggy from Manitoba, and she had said, "Hi Robbie, any guesses as to the grand total of bulbs you have planted in your yard? The 2025 Visit Our Garden Tulip Festival is going to be beautiful." It's actually less than I had last year, which is kind of crazy. Last year, I think I had like, I want to say it was close to like 3,000 bulbs. And I think this year we're doing like 2,000 bulbs, and a majority of them are in the lawn. Last year I did a giant bed of tulips just under the front window, and it was so stunning. It was so nice because I could come in and I could pull 20 tulips out of it and you didn't even notice. It was amazing. I could make flower arrangements from it all day long, and you couldn't even tell that I pulled bulbs out of it. So that's kind of my goal with the landscape, is to just have a ton of them in the landscape, and then I've got a ton in the back garden for the cut flower garden, so that way I can just like grab bulbs whenever I want and grab tulips, and I can make whatever flower arrangement that I want to make. So this year I think I'm close to the 2,000 mark, around 2,000, which is less than last year, surprisingly. The next question on that video is from Lion Hawaii, and they had said, "May I ask what color did you paint your home?" Our house, pretty much anything white on our property is called falling snow, and then our black is just like true black. I just went to the Home Depot and I said, "Give me the blackest black paint that you guys have," and that's what they gave me. So our house is just basically black and white, and I've been getting the itch to paint it. Brent doesn't know that until right now. I actually also have a blog post with all of our paint colors. I will put that in the description down below. It is everything I use to paint and all of my favorite paint colors. The next question on that video is from Lovely Island Vacation, and they had said, Are there squirrels and chipmunks in your area? If I put in tulips like that, I wake up the next day to every one dug back up and eaten. I've stopped doing tulips because I was having to put animal repellent in the holes and using chicken wire to stop them, to try to stop the little terrors from digging them up. Oh my gosh. Okay, we don't deal with any of those issues, so we are very, very lucky here. And I don't know how any of you guys deal with that do have to deal with it on a regular basis, and I'm very sorry. I think Janie is dealing with ground squirrels over at Dig Plant Water Repeat, and I don't know how it's working for her. Oh yeah, she's dealing with all that. So I think she did like baskets last year or something like that, or maybe this year she's doing baskets. I don't know. I've heard baskets work, and then I heard you have to put a ton of the repels all. I don't have any solutions for you. If you've got solutions to repel them from digging up bulbs, leave them in the comments down below. Help other people out. And the last question on that video is from Rhonda, and she had said, it's going to be beautiful come spring. Just one question, why don't you use a long auger? It's much easier on the back. Have a great day. I don't use it because I'm gonna have to get down on the ground anyways and do the bulbs. And I have a longer auger with the like same size bit on it. I found though, with that one, the flank on it is so long. I was going down way too far, so when I was getting down on the ground, I was having to put too much soil back into it, and it was just flinging up way too much dirt everywhere. So I found that if I can just get on my hands and knees and I can just pop the holes in, and I've got my bag next to me, I'm on the ground one time getting everything done. So I really do like my very short little auger. I think if I had the Laura edition one or the Jenny edition one, where it has a very short flank, I would know exactly where to stop on it. I don't have it. The next video that we did was Rose Care Now for Stunning Blooms this spring and shopping for a fun project, and that was getting the stone for the walkway, which is very exciting. The first question on that video is from Tony, and she had said, I'm so happy I watched this video. I have not been pruning my roses correctly, and I have not been removing the foliage. I am so excited to see how they grow. Do you fertilize them now as well? Thank you, Robbie. I go through and I'll usually fertilize probably in the next couple of weeks. I'll go and fertilize everything. You're supposed to do it once you start to see everything really break dormancy. And the only one that's really started to break dormancy in my garden has been the Claire Austin rose. So I probably should fertilize that one. The rest of them, I'm gonna wait until I start to see the buds swell on them. There's no reason for me to do it now. Yeah, I'm looking at my silver lining and I'm not seeing any buds being swollen on that one yet. So once I start to see buds swell, then I will fertilize. The next question on that video is from Peggy, and she had said, hi Robbie, is there a reason you won't move the rose that's in too much shade? Zone 3 Manitoba. It comes down to me being lazy. Oh, that's all it is. It really does need to be moved. And that is the only reason. It's been in that spot. I bought that David Austin rose, I think 3 years ago, and it has to move. I am just very, very lazy at some point. At sometimes. Not at some point. At sometimes. The next question on that video is from Tina, and she had said, enjoy your trip, Robbie and Brent. Robbie, you've shown us before, but where and what type of metal edging are you using for the flower beds? We are using the EdgeRight metal edging, and there's going to be a ton of videos here very soon where you guys are going to be like, Robbie, shut up. All you talk about is EdgeRight. There is going to be a lot of EdgeRight videos coming in because they are graciously sending me enough edging to do our property. And I'm very excited about it. It is so beautiful. It's Corten steel metal edging, and it rusts and it gets this beautiful patina, and it's supposed to last forever because it's Corten steel. And I'm so excited about it. And they're sending out different heights, and then they're sending out a couple planters. And so I'm just excited about it. So it's Corten steel metal edging from EdgeRight, and I'm not like working with them in a sense, but they are sending me out product. So there's that. The next question on that video is from JRP58, and they had said, hi Robbie, questions. 1, could you move the tall 2 plants, junipers or arborvitae, from the pots by the front gate to put next to the mirror gate in the backyard? You said they are outgrowing their pots. 2, have you thought about painting the lattice on the shed the same color as the shed so those rows growing on it stands out better? Now would be an ideal time after cutting back the roses. Yes to both. The arborvitae, after all of you, there was so many comments about it, so all of you guys that recommended that, thank you. The arbs are going to go there, and however you say it, arbs, arborvitae, I don't care, it's gardening, it's not that serious. The arbs are going to go next to the mirrored gate, and I'm very excited about them now. Somebody had suggested turning them into topiary, and I love that idea. They're just too established, and they don't have 1 liter, they've got like 4 liters in there, and so you couldn't get like a good prune job on them. Otherwise, I totally would turn them into spirals. And could you imagine spirals next to that? That would be stunning. But I think just putting 2 arbs there is going to be even more beautiful. So I'm very excited for that. That's going to happen here very, very soon once we button up another project that you guys will see here soon. I will move the arbs over to the gate. And then as far as painting the trellises, I actually thought about it after I pruned those back. I was like, those really do need to be cut back, but I think what I want to do is paint them the same color that the folding benches. I want to start incorporating more softer colors into the garden, so it's this like taupe color. I've always loved a good taupe color, and I think it's a beautiful, beautiful color, and so I think I want to incorporate that into the garden more, and so it'll tie into the bench. I'll have the lattice on there, and it'll be that like, it's like a very sandy color. It's so beautiful. So that's what I want to do. Is I want to paint them, but I want to paint them that soft taupe color. I actually also really want to paint the shed that color. I already told Brent that, and he just laughed at me. And the last question on that video is from T Wild, and they had said, interesting video and informative as well. Question: I have a climber that I put in my garden last spring. I want to move it. Should I cut the long canes back so it can start over, or move it with the long canes and attach to the fence where the new home will be? Thanks, Robbie. I think it kind of depends on how big it is. If it's as big as my Claire Austin is, I would cut it back. You're not going to get enough root. What you could do, which is probably what I would do, is I would dig it up and see how much root you get. And if you get a good amount of root, take off some of the top. Don't take off all of the top. If you get very little root, you're going to need to cut off most of the top. So you pull it up and you can see how much root you actually get from it. And if you get enough root, leave as much as you possibly can. The rule of thumb is that you want to have, you want to take off about the equal proportion of root. So your roots should match about the same that you have going on up top. For roses, that's not 100% the case. Roots aren't going to be as long as a climbing rose is, but they are going to be pretty big. So you should be able to get a decent amount of root from it. So I would dig it up with the roots, and then I would cut back after. Make your determinations, and then cut back and look for those little growth points and see where you want it to start branching out into its new home. That's what I would do. There's always a risk with that. If you want to be 100% safe, I would cut it back and just let it start fresh. And the last video that we did was easy pathway and planting stunning poppies. And the poppies are all doing good in their little homes right now. They're all tucked in, and nobody has wilted or disappeared. Last year I did poppies and they got pulled out by the birds, which was so annoying. This year they are all still here, and I'm very excited about it, and the pathway looks so good. We did install some overhead like spray irrigation to make sure that they stay nice and wet. The first question on that video is from Carla, and she had said, the stone walkway is stunning. I thought I could hear the finches. How are they doing? We are down to 4 finches, which is what we had when we had to bring them inside. Actually, we had 5. One of them did pass away, but 0 rat problem now. We have like fortified that thing, so no rats are getting in. We're still dealing with 1 rat in the attic. We've gotten 2 of them, but 0 rats in there, and they're just sunbathing. The birds are very happy now, and everyone is doing good. Nobody is sick. Nobody is dying. Fingers crossed it stays that way. We had a heat lamp until pretty recently. We took it off. If we hit 32, we'll probably put the heat lamp back. But for the most part, they do go into their nest at night and they stay nice and warm. They do like to cuddle with each other. So yeah, they're doing good now, and they're outside. The next question on that video is from Wooter Tutor, and they had said, love the stone path. Ugh, so not fair about the apple trees. Are you able to prevent borer damage? You are able to prevent borer damage. You have to spray a dormant spray, and I think it's like an insecticide spray or something like that. I'm gonna pop it up on the screen, which you have to spray. And that's what you're supposed to spray. I truly did not think that we dealt with borers here, because I've never heard anybody talk about them in our area. And then I saw the damage, and then I looked it up, and we do have borers in California, and I popped them up on the screen. So it's super upsetting. Whatever, it is what it is. It's just gardening. Like I said, it's not that serious. The next question on that video is from Darlene, and she had said the evergreen wall would be nice. Question: when you put the stones down, I saw Brent throwing something on the ground. What was it? I heard people say to prevent stones from sinking over time, you throw down sand. What would you recommend? I want to put in a small path this year, my Philly Zone 7 yard. If you're gonna do it proper, you put polymeric sand down, because it has like concrete in it or something like that, so it locks it in place. Like I said, that pathway is not going to be a high traffic pathway at all. Really, nobody should be walking on that, maybe like the random kid or something like that, but for the most part, nobody's walking on it. So what we threw down was just a little bit of soil, actually that bag right there, a Fox Farm soil. We threw some extra dirt down just to make sure that all of our stones were nice and level and they didn't like wobble too much. So yeah, sand, if you're smart, or if it's a high traffic area, or you can just do dirt. That's what we did in our front yard and it's held up fine. The stones have definitely sunk though. The next question on that video is from Deborah, and she had said, I love the pathway. So stinking good. I'm so sorry about the apple trees. Do you follow Claudia in the garden? I love her use of trees in the border. That would look really great to replace the apple trees. Take care of your back, young man. I follow her on social media, but I don't actively watch anyone on social media right now. Just there has not been enough time. I'm hoping maybe I will start having time with not doing hair anymore. But I have seen her property. I saw that Janie went and she did a tour there a while ago. I think it was like coming up on a year ago at this point or something like that. And she has so many trees. And I think she's got a smaller lot than I do. And her garden was like mature and lush and beautiful. And so yes, I've seen her property and it is so beautiful, and I love the use of trees that she has. And the last question on that video is from Jennifer, and she had said, good morning, Robbie and Brent. Question, do you think lemon cypress will do well in high humidity and heat here in zone 9B, Texas Gulf Coast? That pathway is perfect. Love the stone color. Sorry about the apples. That sucks. Have a wonderful weekend. See you Monday, Jen. Hope you had a great weekend, Jen. We are about to have a very long, busy weekend here. And what was her question? Lemon cypress. And as far as lemon cypress go, I think that if you can find them right now on sale, I think that it is worth a shot, especially if you're in Texas. You are in a zone where technically they can survive there as a terrain. We're gonna work through the train. I think that if you can find them this time of year and you can get them for like 10 bucks, do it. There's no reason not to. I mean, it's $10 and it would be a good experiment. I would try it. I wouldn't try it if I found them for $20, $30, $40, $50, which I've seen them go for that. I would not try it then. I think that that is a investment to lose. I mean, maybe 20 bucks I might try it, but if it was more than 20 bucks, I probably wouldn't do it. But like I said, you should be able to find them on sale because now it's after the holidays and they are considered holiday trees. And so you should be able to find them for sale right now. I think I found a few of them at my local Home Depot for like 10 bucks. So I would give it a try. And that, my friends, is all that I have for you. I hope that you guys enjoyed the video. I'm about to get to work. We have so much to do. I'm looking at a huge mess right now and I cannot wait for you guys to see it. So thank you guys for visiting our garden. And thanks for being here and making it possible for me to retire from doing hair. So scary. I hope to see some of you in Seattle, and I will see you all in the next video. Bye, guys.